Hello beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a very special video because today not only do I have first impressions on a palette for you guys, but it is a collab and today I'm collabing with my girl Cara from Beauty and the Frizz. Y'all know I love Cara. I think she's one of the sweetest human beings out there and we are kind of like friends in real life. Like we text all the time. She's just one of the nicest people ever and I've said this like in every single video I've collabed with Cara on. I've said this and I will say it again. She's literally who inspired me to start my channel. I was watching one of her Lunch Bunch lives. This was in 2020 I believe. And I remember I'm like, you know, I've been thinking about it and I was in the chat and like talking about the fact that I was thinking about starting a channel and she was like, girl, do it. Do it. So she really gave me that final push to start my channel and here we are 2K later. So thank you Cara as always. Now before we dive in, let me quickly introduce myself. Welcome everyone, I'm Jamila and I love all things beauty. I love all things makeup and skincare and here on this channel I like to share any tips and tricks that I have for how to find high-end and luxury beauty products at bargain prices. Now if that sounds like something you are interested in, I would absolutely love if you would consider subscribing and joining the fam. Okay, so like I said, I have a first impressions video for you guys. Now, Cara's is not a first impressions video, but here's how this happened. So, Melt had a sale a couple of weeks back, probably about a month or so back, or a little bit over a month or so. So Melt had a sale and Sephora had a sale, and I have a good couple of the Melt palettes, but I saw the 420 palette, and I was like, you know, I want this palette, but the reviews on this are trash. Like, people hate this palette. So I texted Cara and I was like, should I get it? Is it worth it? And I ended up picking it up. Now, Cara does have this palette. She has had it for some time before me, and she's also remixed the palette. If you watch her channel, you know that one of the things that she does is that she will take out shades that she doesn't like and replace it with shades that she likes. So one of the things, so she has this palette and she has a remixed version of it. And Cara is a huge fan of Melt. And while I was looking at this palette, I knew I had to text and be like, is this one that you actually like? Because, you know, before I purchase anything, especially things that have been out for a while, I try to go and watch reviews. I like to see what people think about it. I like to see what the consensus is. At the end of the day, it's my choice if I decide to risk it and purchase something or not. But I do like to see what people are saying. And when I saw the reviews for this palette, they were absolutely horrible. People hated it. There were a lot of issues with it. Now, one thing I like to take into consideration when I watch reviews is who's reviewing the palette. Like, are these makeup artists? Are these makeup enthusiasts? Are they using the palette correctly? And by that, I mean, are they applying it in like a way that I would apply the palette, or are they doing something that just seems kind of funky and off? Have they tried the palette multiple times? Or is this one of those things where because people have so much makeup, they use it once, they decide they hate it, and then they never want to go back again. So it's more of a first impressions than a real review. Do they look like me? Like, complexion matters a lot for me because some things just don't show up well on my skin tone. And because of the fact that this is kind of like a neon palette, I'm trying to figure out, like, is this going to show up on me? Also, do they have the same skin type as me? Like, there are definite differences when it comes to oily skin versus dry skin. Like, some people have oily lids, some people have hooded lids, some people have creasing issues. I don't have any of those, so I try to take all of that into account when I'm gathering information about reviews to decide if I want to purchase anything. Now, that being said, like I said, the reviews for this were really, really bad. So I was a little, you know, like, I was a little put off from buying it. But I also know that a lot of times when the reviews are terrible, I end up liking palettes. For example, the Natasha Denona Zendo palette, I really like that one. People don't. A lot of people don't like that palette. I like it. So knowing that there are often times when I really enjoy palettes that people hate, and this was a 50% off, plus I think I had some points, and I think I paid like $13 for this, y'all. But all of that to say, because it was a much cheaper price, I really liked the color story, I decided to go ahead and risk it. Now, this had been sitting on my desk for a couple of weeks, and Cara was doing a video, and she was like, we should collab on it. And I was like, yes, 100,000%. Now, I told you guys a little bit about Cara. She really lives in this indie space. She loves high-end and luxury makeup, as well as indie makeup, and she is on a journey to love her collection more. So her channel right now has been really focused on making sure that we are using the products that we love and being very thoughtful about what else we're bringing into our collection. So if you are interested in that type of content, please go ahead and check out her channel. I will have her channel, her video, everything linked down below for you to check it out. If you're coming from her channel, welcome. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope you consider subscribing before you leave. So we decided for today's video, we're going to do 2 looks with this palette. So that's what we're going to do. As a reminder, for me, this is going to be like first impressions. So you're gonna get some raw reactions here. All right, I don't want to hold you guys too long, so let's go ahead and dive into the first look. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the first look. I have not touched this palette as yet. I'm gonna film the intro after I do the look. So this is what it looks like. It is beautiful. I'm a little bit scared, but you know, such is life. I'm also wearing a black t-shirt, which from what I have seen in terms of other videos, this palette has a bunch of fallouts. So this was probably a dumbass idea, but we gonna rock with it. So at least y'all will be able to see. If I have a bunch of fallouts on my shirt, that's why. All right, where do we start? Where do we start? I'm legitimately stumped. I've been staring at this palette for like 3 minutes now. I don't know where to start. I really don't. And I want to film like 3 other videos, so I can't look like shit. So, okay, we're just gonna dive in. I think I want to play with the greens in today's look with this palette. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and start off with the last shade. It's this sort of neon green. And I'm gonna start by using that as my first transition shade and see how that goes. So I'm taking my Units 309 brush and I'm gonna start by plopping that into the crease. I'm being so gentle with this. One thing that I saw from a lot of videos is that this palette has a bunch of fallout, which I'm trying to avoid. Also, because these are more neon shades, I think I want to start by tapping it in like I'm doing here. Ooh, yeah. And this is showing up yellow on camera, but it is green in person. So sorry about that weird color thing here. But I want to get as much opacity from this as I possibly can. So tap, 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 and then blending out the edges. I could be your girl. I'm not experiencing as much fallout as everybody seemed to mention. I'm taking a bigger brush. This is one of my Sydney Grace brushes. And just because I want to cover a bigger surface area. I also think that there may be some mixing happening here with my eyeshadow base because it is a tinted base. That could be affecting the coloring of this a little bit. But not terribly. Like, I'm not mad at this. I wish you guys could see it in real. I feel like this camera is doing something funky. Because it's not yellow, but it's showing up yellow on camera. At least in the viewfinder. Is that what it's called? The little screen on the side of the camera.
All of me wants all of you. You pull me in.
Okay, I'm not mad at this. I want to see if I can really see a difference in the green and the yellow and if it'll show up on camera for you guys. So I'm going to go into the neon yellow shade. It's called Wax. And that first shade was called Shotgun. So I cleaned off my first brush, this Units 309. So I'm using that first brush to pick up the yellow, and I want to put that into the inner part of the eye, blending it into the green, mainly to see if I see a difference in those two shadows. Okay, that one is definitely brighter. And I have a little bit of fallout around my nose. So I definitely got a little bit more brightness in the inner part of the eye there. Cool beans. Let's keep going. So now I have this Colored Rain small blending brush, and I'm gonna go into this green shade. It's called Faded. And I'm gonna start blending that into the first green shade. Really starting to deepen that up a bit. Wiping off that small blending brush, then I'm gonna go into Chronic. That is the deepest green shade in the palette. And I'm gonna start building the outer V. Hopefully this is gonna be deep enough. If not, there is a dark brown right next to that I can probably go in and get a little bit extra depth from. That's blending fine. The big question we have is, do we make this an all matte look or not? This palette only comes with one shimmer, so you know, it is by design limiting, and not mad at that. Maybe I can reach into another palette and get, maybe I can reach into my singles. Is that cheating? I don't think it's cheating. Maybe I should text Kara. Because I don't do all matte looks. Like, I should be able to, but I just don't want to. I've lived 20 lives and needed saving. Okay, hold up. What is that? What the what? Now, aside from the fallout, because we could handle that. What is happening? I didn't have that over here. Okay, all right. Okay, I don't know what that is. I don't like what that is. So, let's... Oh no. I think I'm making it worse. Y'all. From the go, I was on my own. Had to find a home up in myself. Plant a seed and grow where I stood, cause I ain't... What the hell is happening? It's hard to understand when you don't know the truth. Cause we all got some shit that we don't like. I don't even know what to do there. The things that keep me up, they made me who I am, yeah. So I can never sit back, say that I regret. If you see this palette on my Macari today, you know why. Because this is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Okay, cleaning off my brush. I'm gonna try to go into the brown and see what happens. I feel like I have to wipe off this whole face, cause that is making me mad. No, ma'am. We're gonna have to start over. I cannot. Let's try this again, shall we? Oh, no, ma'am. I am pissed. Okay, I'll be back after I done wipe this shit off my eyes. Okay, I'm back, and let's try this again. And pray it goes well, because I literally don't have the time, and most importantly, the patience to do this look again. Not that I know what look I'm going for, but that muddy shit... Okay. So I'm gonna try a different technique. So instead of going from light to dark, I'm gonna try from dark to light. So... I'm gonna still keep it green. I won't try to mix the two dark shades because it seems like too much mixing is going to, you know, completely make this a mess. So I'm gonna start with Chronic, which is the green. I also changed my eyeshadow base, so I'm just using concealer, so hopefully that helps. I did set it, but I'm gonna start by going in with Chronic. And I'm just using that in the outer V. Now, I should say that this is not how I typically apply my shadow, so this is kind of backwards for me, so it does not feel natural. So if it looks a little weird, that could be part of it. I'm just doing something that is not necessarily the most natural makeup application for me. Okay, but now this is doing what I needed to do. It's hard to understand when you don't know the truth, 'cause we So far so good. I'm not getting any of that weird patchiness. Cautiously optimistic. Then I'm gonna go into the green shade next to it. It is faded, and I'm gonna try to blend that into the deep shade. I'm using this Sydney Grace brush to attempt to do this, but I may need to switch brushes. Yeah, that isn't doing what I want. So I'm gonna go back in with this small blending brush from Collab. Okay, so far not bad. This just feels very odd for me because I'm going a little backwards here. Then lastly, I'm going to try to go in with that neon green shade as the final shade, final matte shade. I'm afraid to touch anything. And I'm going to start again in the inner part, ever so gently. I'm sorry if you guys can hear all the birds chirping in the background. It is... I got a bit of an early start this morning, and this is what they sound like every morning. I'm also taking that light shade over the top of the first two shades to continue to blend things out, creating that gradient. Now this is far from my best gradient, and I don't know if it's because of these shadows or because of the fact that I'm working dark to light, which is not my MO. Or maybe it's a combination of both. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to do a all matte look today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna get a flat brush. I'm gonna take this Smashbox contour shadow brush, and I'm gonna actually go into the neon yellow shade. I'm gonna take this neon yellow shade, I think it's called Wax, and I'm just gonna put that all over the lid, and that's gonna be the look for today. Jesus, the fallout on this. Now I'm just gonna press that in. Actually, I might put the shimmer on top of it. This is by far probably top 3. One of the worst looks I've ever created. Just saying. And I am trying my best, you guys. I'm really trying. I really am. Does it look horrible? Maybe. Is it the worst thing ever? No. But is it also the best thing ever? Absolutely not. Jesus. Okay. Let me just do the next eye, and I'll be back to show you all the final look. I can't. Okay. I tried, and this is where I throw in the towel for look 1. This is what it's gonna be. It don't get any better than this. Like, this is it. So I'm just gonna add some liner. So I'm gonna add some liner, finish up the rest of my face, and I'll show you guys what this final look looks like. And please don't judge me, because this isn't my best work, but I tried really hard. Like, I really did. Okay guys, I'm back and this is the final look. I'm not gonna lie, I like this. I like this a lot. Did I like the journey to get here? No, I wanted off that train a lot. And quite frankly, the fact that I had to start over and do this whole look, and my lids don't like that type of having to reapply things. My lids are a little bit sore right now. The struggle was a little bit real, but the final result, ma'am, as my girl Kara would say, please respect my privacy at this time because I really like it. I like the final look. Let me tell y'all really quickly what I have on the rest of my face, and then we have to jump into the second look, and then I will come back and give you guys sort of my formed first impressions thoughts. As a reminder, this is the first time I'm using this palette. When I filmed this, I didn't even swatch it, so this is like literally first impressions thoughts, so take that however you want. But yeah, for the rest of my face, I am wearing my Givenchy Prisme Libre Matte Foundation. I am also wearing the Velvet Cinnabar Lip from Lisa Eldridge, and I did go ahead and line my lip with the brown liner from NYX. I'm trying to finish this up because it's literally only a little bit left. So this is the brown, it's a shade, it's actually called brown, shade brown from NYX Cosmetics. For concealer, I did a mix of my Sephora, what's it called? Best Skin Ever concealer, as well as the Kosas concealer. For my bronzer, I am wearing two because I really like mixing my bronzers. I think that it helps get to what I need it to be. So I'm wearing a mix of the deep bronzer from Kosas, this one, and the Cover FX bronzer in the shade Suntan, which is the deepest of the two. This only comes in 2 shades, and it's very tragic because the formula in this is actually quite nice. Oh, and lastly for blush, I'm wearing the Sydney Grace face palette. I went in with the blush in that palette. It's called Sun Glow, and I have been obsessed with it. It already looks hella dirty because, truthfully, guys, I've been using this on pretty much a daily basis. So the packaging looks a little crusty because I have been wearing it. And that's his face, and she's cute. The earrings are from TJ Maxx. I had to throw in a little something extra for you guys, but yes, I'm loving this. Okay, I have a couple more videos that I need to film today, so you'll see this look a couple of times, but let's go ahead and dive into look number 2, and then we'll end off with some of my first impressions thoughts.
It's hard to find sometimes. Wrote a song about it, now I know my heart is fine. And I just hope you get though, cause I have some things now. Got another chance, but you're smoking with the windows down. Alcohol and cigarettes is early death, but something about it calms you down. And now you're feeling so alone. Never been in a city that ever felt like home. And you don't really know why. Every time that you drive, looking at the text, but it doesn't help you stop crying. You tell yourself you're fine, but that won't dry those eyes, babe. I never wanna call you, but something about tonight, baby's telling me to. And I never wanna hold you, but babe, the way you move it is making me do. Cause I didn't wanna waste my time. Indecision and television were not my time. I know you got your head straight, tell me that I should've waited. I don't wanna hurt you, but I felt like it was time, babe. You couldn't let it go, and I just gotta know. I was living in the moment, caring about my own shit. Being the person I thought I was, I should've owned it. Danced around the throne and didn't care about it. Never saw you, honey, in my mind I thought it was the distance. I miss us. Tell me how you feel, because I didn't think it'd be this hard to fix us. Cause I still miss us. I never wanna call you, but something about tonight, baby's telling me to. And I never wanna hold it's making me do. I know you said I will wait for you if you want me to. Love is hard to find sometimes. Wrote a song about it, now I know my heart is fine. And I just hope you get though, cause I have some things now. Got another chance, but you're smoking with the windows down. Alcohol and cigarettes is early death, but something about it calms you down. Down. And now you're feeling so alone. Never been in a city that ever felt like home. And you don't really know why. Every time that you drive, looking at the text, but it doesn't help you stop crying. You tell yourself you're fine, but that won't dry those eyes. Eyes, babe. I never wanna call you, but something about tonight, baby's telling me to. And I never wanna hold you, but babe, the way you move it is making me do. Cause I didn't wanna waste my time. Indecision and television were not my time. I know you got your head straight, tell me that I should wait. I don't wanna hurt you, but I felt like it was time, babe. You couldn't let it go, and I just gotta know. I was living in the moment, caring about my own shit. Being the person I thought I was, I should have owned it. Danced around the throne and didn't care about it. Never saw you, honey, in my mind I thought it was the distance. I miss us. Tell me how you feel, because I didn't think it'd be this hard to fix us. Cause I still miss us. I never wanna call you, but something about tonight, baby's telling me to. And I never wanna hold you, but babe, the way you move it is making me do. I never wanna call you, but something about tonight, baby's telling me to. And I never wanna hold you, but babe, the way you move it is making me do. I never wanna call you, but something about tonight, baby's telling me to. I never wanna hold you, but baby, where you move.
Okay guys, so this is the final look, and if you're looking at this and you're like, why she looks so raggedy? I do, and it's because I've been wearing this makeup all day. I did not get a chance to like come back immediately after applying it and give you all my thoughts, because it took so damn long to do this freaking eyeshadow. I'm gritting my teeth because I'm not happy at all. But anyways, this is what the makeup looks like a full day's wear. Let's get into this. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easy. Anyways, what is wrong with me? I've had a long day, you guys. So the 420 palette, like you guys know, when I said in the beginning, I picked this up because everybody didn't like it. Like, it was pretty widely disliked in the beauty community. And for me, a lot of times that just means I need to try it for myself, especially when I see that the people that don't like this don't look like me. And I was really intrigued by this because it does have all of these neon pops that are just bright and vibrant, and they look really beautiful. But looks can be deceiving. Now, am I mad that I picked this up? A little bit. Here's the thing. These shadows are hard to work with. Like, and they're hard for me to work with. I fully understand and accept the fact that I'm not a makeup artist, which means that my application techniques are things that I learned on my own, things that I figured out what works for me. So I'm sure that there are better ways to do this. I'm sure that there are standard ways to do this, you know, that people who are professionally trained are thought. I just kind of like figured this out on my own. So I completely understand that. And I'm trying not to hold that against the palette because I do think that there is something to neons and applying them to your eyelids in a way that makes sense. One of the things that I noticed is that I don't like to go in with like a white base or a very light base, which I think is appropriate for neon shadows because that's where you really get the color to pop. Because I go in with pretty much my skin tone color, and the type of shades that these are, when they are on my skin, the color changes. So that was something that I kind of expected but was hoping wouldn't happen, but I did experience with these shades. So the neonish green and the neonish yellow, like this shade and this shade, these two almost kind of blend together. Like you can see it, but you also, like, it's so close that it felt like a little bit of a waste. And I felt like with applying those, I had to do a little bit of work to make sure I packed it on and not over blend, because once you start blending, things just dissipate. And that is kind of like with all neons, or at least the ones that I've used, is that if you want the pigment to show, you really have to like pack it on, leave it on, not do too much blending, just blend around the edges. So I had to like learn that. The other thing too is with the first look, which you guys saw, and I had to wipe that off and start over, going from light to dark just did not work for me. I had to start with the darkest and then blend out, which is not a technique that I am well versed in. So I will admit that my gradient was not the best because I just don't do that often enough for me to be comfortable and for it to be a seamless blend. So I struggled with that first look because I was trying to do light to dark and it didn't work, and then I had to start over and do dark to light, and that's just not what I'm used to. So that was actually really, really hard for me. Now the second look that you guys saw, I did go light to dark, and I think that that one was better because I feel like the browns here, you know, they're more standard browns. They're not these neon shades, so they're easier to formulate. So I think that they operated like typical shadows without a lot of fuss or muss. This shimmer shade, when I tell you I wanted to pitch this out the window, I was just getting madder and madder every time I use it. It doesn't pick up with a brush, it doesn't pick up with a finger. It is basically a topper, but a bad topper at that, because I applied it over my lids. So I laid down, you know, a matte shadow, and then I applied the shimmer on top of it, and it was like gone before I could even finish my shadow. It was so frustrating, you guys saw. I had to go into my Odin's Eye singles to get a shimmer shade to put on the lid because it looked crazy. I looked crazy. And with both of these looks that I did for y'all, the first one and the second one, it took like 4 times as long. I don't know about you, but I value my time and I have a lot of things to do. I have so much going on that for me, spending 3, 4, 5 times longer than I expected on my eyeshadow was not a part of my like plan ever. So it was really frustrating to me that I had to work so hard. Now, did the looks come out fine in the end? Yes. That first look, chef's kiss. After I had to wipe it off and start over, that is. Loved that. I wore that all day and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is stunning. And I'm not a all matte kind of gal, but it looked good. I'll give it that. But the process to get there, I don't know, y'all. I don't know if I can do that again. I don't know if I can sit there and dedicate that amount of time and patience to getting that to come out somewhat good. And I'm saying somewhat good because I still wasn't 100% comfortable with it, because when I realized that over blending was making things worse, I didn't blend as much as I wanted to, which meant that I felt like I had harsher lines that I'm used to. So it wasn't perfect for me, but it looked alright. It looked okay enough that if you're staring at me from an appropriate distance, I wouldn't look crazy. This second look, this is also a very pretty look, but this is a warm neutral look that I could get from any other shadow in my collection, because it's just some browns, a little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow, and it would have taken me like half the time. I didn't need to use this palette to get this look. So the fact that it took like 5 times longer, no ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. I just can't. I can't do it, y'all. I'm so about taking care of myself and making sure I'm putting time in the things that I need to put time into, and that just, it irked me so much, and it took so much longer that I couldn't even film the outro that I'm filming now because I had no more time. I ran out of time. I had things to do. So like now, a whole like day, 8 hours after, I have to come back and tell you all how I feel about the shadow. So here's my thoughts. The masses, they were right. I don't think that this is Melt's best palette. And I'm also choosing my words carefully here. in saying that I don't think that this is good quality. Like, I try to be very careful in saying that something is bad quality, because 99% of the time when people say that, it just means that it doesn't work for them. It just means that it's a preference thing, and that's why they don't like it. This, I don't know if it was preference. I didn't feel like it was preference. I just felt like this was bad. Maybe it is a preference thing and I'm just like in my feelings still, which is probably good why I waited to film this, because to be quite honest, I was more in my feelings this morning than I am right now. And I'm still in my feelings that I feel comfortable saying that it's just bad quality. I don't know. And I know that there are people that like it, so I will cop to the fact that yes, if you like it, I love it, and it definitely is probably just a preference thing for me. But what I will say is that because I am not a makeup artist, because I'm not professionally trained in this, and because the vast majority of people that are purchasing and using melt palettes and using makeup in general are not makeup artists, like it's people like you and me, makeup enthusiasts, who like we just, you know, like to throw some colorful things on our eyes or neutral things on our eyes, and we hope that it works well. And if that is the audience that they are marketing to, this isn't gonna work for us. Like, it's not. It really isn't. Nobody should have to work this hard, y'all. Nobody should have to work for this hard. No, I think I passed the dates to return this, which I'm a little annoyed by. And granted, I think I only paid like $15 for this because I used my points. And you know, once you return things to Sephora, you don't get your points back. So I might as well keep it. I might put some on my Macari, because I honestly can't say if I would ever reach for this again. I cannot say with confidence that this is something that I would want to pull out again. Ever. Jesus. Okay. So those are my feelings. Oh my gosh, I'm so greasy. That's how long, y'all, the day has been. So please excuse the shine. Those are my feelings. That's how I feel about this palette. I don't like it. I don't want it. And that's where we are. Now, I'm really excited to see how Kyra feels about this. I know that this is a palette that she has remixed and made her own, but I don't think she's used it in a while. So I want to, you know, really dive into her thoughts on it and see if we're feeling the same. Huge thank you, Kyra, for doing this collab with me, pushing me to pull this out and actually use it. It'd been sitting here for some weeks. As always, I love collabing with Kyra. She is just a joy on this platform and in real life, just holistically. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her video. Now, if you haven't already done so, I would absolutely love if you would consider subscribing. If you came over from Kyra's channel, thank you for coming. I hope you stay a while. And if you haven't been to Kyra's channel yet, make sure you hop over and check out her video. That will, of course, be linked down in the description box below, along with her socials. Make sure you go follow her and everything. And that is it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this first impressions of the Melt Cosmetics 420 palette. I'm sure as hell not purchasing the new 420 palette, in case you were wondering, because that is just too eclectic for mine. It looked like chaos, and I just can't. And I've been burned by this palette. I'm still in my feelings, y'all. Still in my feelings. But yes, that's it. Like, comment, let me know what you thought about the looks today, about the application. Leave that all in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for hanging with me. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!